again. Unmute me. Hello, welcome to the AGM. Which oddly enough happens roughly once a year. The annual bit is a bit dodgy, but it's the general meeting anyway, which we have to have. And so it's nice to see you all, even for the business part of the meeting. So you've all had the agenda and the facts and figures, but we'll run through them quickly. So review of the year is the first bit, and you'll have had that, my thoughts. And I think you'll agree, I hope you'll agree, that we've done very well this year. We've had lots more of these Zoom meetings. The Zoom meeting that we're starting in half an hour is our 61st meeting. So that means average of 3. We must have had 180 presentations, something like that, at least 150 presentations over the last few years. So I think we're still doing well. It's a bit of a problem getting people to talk, not because they're unwilling, but because everybody's so busy. But I'll be nagging you in a minute about that. We've had in-person meetings since COVID. It's taken us a while to get back to in-person. But we had successful meetings in Gloucester and in Sheffield, and the Broadside Day in February in London. So I think the year has gone well, and I think we've done our subject proud. And thank you to everybody who has contributed to, especially to our Zoom meetings and our conferences, and to the office holders, as always, Martin and Sean, especially, Cara O'Brien, Elaine Bradkey, and who have I forgotten? That's it. And me. We're the ones who have been running the show. So
don't forget Peter Snape.
Oh, and Peter, the treasurer, of course, Peter, who you'll be hearing from in a minute, I hope. So thank you to everybody that's contributed, and I think we can say we've done well. But, oh no, the coming year comes afterwards, so I'll leave the but until we get to that bit. So let's move on quickly to finance. Is Peter with us?
He's not able to be with us today. I can just flash up the appropriate slide. No, I can't.
No, you can't. But the thing to know is we do have some money in the bank. Thanks in particular to the friends, those of you who contribute money each time, the friends of the TSF keep us afloat. And we kept to our principle of trying to keep our meetings free. So even our in-person meetings are normally mostly free. There's Cara just waiting to get in. And we get a bit of money in here and there. So we do have a balance of, well, that's a balance at 2022.
Wow.
Martin.
Okay. Yes, it's the right figure there.
Ah, there we go. Balance at, yeah. Okay. Can you flick on that other one again? That's it. Isn't that the right figure at the bottom there?
Yeah, that's the right one.
Good heavens, blimey, £4,000. We're doing even better than I thought we were. But don't stop sending in money, because every now and again we do have to pay for a venue, and they cost money. And we do, as we've agreed in the past, we do offer bursaries to under 25s, under 30s, who want to go to our conferences and give papers. We did so for the Broadside Day this year, just to help students to get there and to contribute. So if any, I should say, any questions on the finance? Thank you again to Peter for doing this for us. Oh, the website, of course, costs money as well. So, there's admin costs as well. Okay, if nobody's got a question, I don't have the chat open, so I don't know if anybody's chatting to me. see how formal we are in the TSF if you're new to us.
Raised his hand.
We're going to move
John
on.
Baxter's raised his hand, John.
Oh, John.
Okay.
Hi, John. You have to unmute, John.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how to do it. Oh dear. It was just seeing the 4,000. I wondered if there were things that we could do, little projects that don't cost very much money. If there are, you know, we could invite people if they need to find somewhere to digitize. I'm just thinking about digitizing costs. There may be members that have got things that are worth digitizing on our website to make them accessible to other people that we could do with a small amount of money. It was just whether we could think creatively along those lines.
Yeah, certainly. The treasurer's not here. The treasurer will probably say, "Oh, I don't know." But as chairman, I would say that's a splendid idea. We could certainly have a sort of small projects grants, for digitization or for other things. Okay, shall we take that under advisement?
Yeah, we have done it before, Steve, you'll recall.
I've forgotten.
Haven't made the offer specifically in the last couple of years, but certainly in the past we've offered and have provided finance for small projects as well as for bursaries.
We have, haven't we? You're right. Okay, well, let's do it. Shall we do it again? All those in favour, who I can see on your screen, put your hand up. Wait up. Yep, fine. Anybody against? No? Okay. So somebody put 2 hands up. I don't know if that's 2 votes. All right. Well, let's think about that again. We'll put it to the committee. Okay, can we move on to membership? Sian is our membership secretary.
Well, I've got very little to say. You'll be glad to hear. We currently have 329 members on the roll, and there's a steady stream. Every month, you know, it's about 5 or 6 people apply to join. So that's great. We do, of course, have some who either change their email addresses or just unsubscribe themselves, and that's fine too. But actual, you know, people on the list that receive the mailings, etc., it's 329.
That's quite healthy, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. But obviously we can do some more. If anybody wants to tell people about us, please do. And thank you, Sian, for looking after the members. Okay, website and website and newsletter and stuff comes next with Martin.
Well, the website continues to operate. I don't think we're seeing an awful lot of people coming to visit it. We don't actually have a tally on that because there's no mechanism for doing so that doesn't get swamped by the spam. But it's still there. The one thing that I do believe is there's a lot of the stuff other than the news and the meeting details that is getting a bit long in the tooth. We could do with some tidying up there on some of those very old articles, some of which go back into the dark ages. Apart from that, I'll carry on doing it, but it's not the highest of my priorities.
Okay, and it does take a surprising amount of time, doesn't it, managing it?
Yeah, I just do updates. I'm not adding new content because actually I'm not getting any.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to send us some content, please do. One of the things we planned at the beginning, as one always does, is that we have a website full of, you know, articles and pictures and information and stuff. And we could still do that if people would send us things. So please, after this meeting, sometime soon, have a look at the website, have a look at the different pages and see if you can think of anything that would be suitable. And then not only think about it, but send it in, or at least ask us. Trad song, does that come under this this heading
Discussion
anyway.
group.
TradSong continues. I find it very useful. I think most people find it useful, and it's nice that it's not inundated with nasty people like some website, some chat lists. And again, please tell people about it. I occasionally meet people who are confused. They think they are members of TradSong, but actually they've subscribed to the TSF and get the newsletter, and they think the newsletter is TradSong. So please do tell people about TradSong if they're interested in our kind of thing. I mean, tradsong.io, it's not difficult to remember. It is moderated in that anybody who joins us doesn't get full rights straight away to protect us from people who are spammers who are pretending to be real people. And it is possible to turn somebody off straight away if they do start behaving like they're on another site, if you see what I mean. So we do try to keep it friendly and keep the trolls and stuff out. Speaking of trolls, we have a social, I think it's this year or last year, Cara joined us as our Facebook and other social media person, and Cara's with us. Cara, did you want to say anything about social media?
Yeah, I can just jump in really quickly. I can't remember. I think it was no, maybe it was 2022. I don't know what year it was. I've been working on it for a little while. Most of you know I was finishing my PhD, so I haven't been working on it that hard, but hopefully I'll get more time on it soon. We've got about 1,200 people on. We have a really nice gender balance going there. We need to find ways, and I'm working on ways to attract more younger people to the page, and some of that is going to be probably working on different platforms. I have mostly been doing Facebook. I've done a little bit on Instagram, but I haven't quite figured out how to move our content over to Instagram well yet. But that's something I'm thinking about. And yeah, I guess that's kind of where we're at. If anybody has other platforms we think that we should be on, or has ideas, or if you've seen stuff in the past that you thought was working well and you want to see more of, or stuff that you didn't like, I'm always happy to have thoughts thrown at me about how to use that site better. So yeah, any specific questions?
Anybody want to say anything about either Martin's been on the website or Cara's social media? I mean, we're very grateful for you, Cara, for doing the social media, because there's an awful lot of us who can't.
Oh, no worries. I know there has been a little bit of a problem with me not getting back to instant messages, and that's a weird thing where Facebook isn't sending me the instant messages, and I haven't figured out how to fix that yet, but we'll get there at some point, so.
That's great. Thank you, Cara.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, this is always a joke, election of officers.
Steve, could I just say a couple of things got left off the agenda.
Okay.
Worth just saying the YouTube channel is now completely up to date. Everything we've ever done since we started in May 2020 is now on the YouTube channel, and it works pretty well. Unfortunately, I can't find a way to get them to come out listed in order for everybody, but you can do it yourself. If you fiddle around with the settings, you can get them to come out in date order. The other thing I did want to mention was Friends of TSF. Steve's already said how grateful we are to them. I just thought I'd update you that so far this year, 44 people have contributed to Friends of TSF, and the total amount received so far is £1,558. So thank you all very much. This is what keeps us going. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And if anybody else wants to become a friend, all you do is send us money. That's all it is to it. It's easy. Yeah, thank you, Martin. So office
actually what you do is you go onto the website and you find the Friends of TSF page.
Right, okay. And then send us money.
And then send us money.
And send us money. Okay. Officers, we have had no nominations or volunteers for the officers. The officers, as you will know, are myself as chair, Martin as secretary, Sean as member secretary, Peter Snape as treasurer, and then Elaine Bradkey and Cara are Elaine. I forgot what Elaine's called, but she helps. And Cara does the social media. What's Elaine called?
Zoom manager, I
Zoom
believe.
manager. Okay. If anybody else wants to be in the team, let them speak either now or later. If nobody objects to anything, then these people are re-elected for the coming year. So that brings me on to the coming year. Before we talk about our dates and our meetings, you'll have noticed in the agenda in the newsletter that I have said, we've said it before, but I think we're really saying it now. Martin is getting too old. This is the problem. He can't cope anymore. No, Martin and myself are both in our, we're past our mid-70s. We're not going to go on forever. And we do really need to get people to start taking some of the slack, to volunteer, to organize things, to take over some things. If somebody could take over the website from Martin, that would free up his time considerably. That kind of thing. We do need people to step up, because otherwise TSF will simply fade away as we fade away. I know we are not, nobody's not essential in this world, but some people are more essential than others. And Martin's one of those. So seriously, please think about volunteering. Please think about any young people you might know, or younger people who are interested in our topic that can be volunteered or strong-armed or trained or whatever. I'm serious, because there will come a time when all of a sudden the TSF will stop. So has anybody got any comment they want to make on that, on me telling you off? No hands are up. No, everybody's looking down. So don't look at me. In the coming year, then, we will continue with our Zoom meetings, and the next one is on the 14th of April. I do have a free slot on the 14th of April, so if anybody's got anything to hand, please tell me very quickly, because we've got to start advertising it very soon. So 14th of April is our next Zoom. And then 19th of May and 16th of June are our Zoom meeting dates. And that takes us up to the summer, where we have a bit of a break. But before all of that, we've got our in-person meeting in Stowmarket in Suffolk on the 6th of April. So that's in effect, our next get-together is in person in Stowmarket on the 6th. And then before we break for the summer, 20th and 21st of July, we've got a major conference called Collectomania, which is, we hope, going to be a big thing, talking about collectors and collecting, the collectors themselves, but also their ethics or lack of them, not just in England, but Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And we're partnering with FDIS, the Vaughan Williams Memorial Library, on that one. So 20th, 21st of July, Collectomania. If you've got something to say about the collectors, then get an abstract in to me by the 1st of April, I believe it is. We've had quite a lot of interest, but very few people have actually sent anything in. They usually wait till the last the last day or so. But so Collector Mania is, as I say, it's a big thing. It's going to be in London at Cecil Sharp House. We hope, of course, that it will then translate into a book published by the Ballad Partners, so that there is sort of a permanent record of what we think of the collectors at this time. Because as you know, they come under a lot of fire these days. Sometimes they deserve it, sometimes they don't. So we've got a fairly full program right up to the end of, you know, the 20th of July. Then we get time off, and then we're back in the autumn. So I've done really well. It's 9 minutes to, according to me. Would anybody like to say anything? You can say nice things about us if you want to. You can put mean things in an email to me. But seriously, if anybody wants to say anything, this is the members' meeting. So please do put your hand up if you want to say anything. Have I left anything out, Martin? You're muted.
I don't think so, Steve. I'd only put a. Oh, where have you gone? Oh, there you are. John's put his hand up.
Yeah,
John.
I wanted to do two things. One is to thank everybody here for the support that they've given me in the work that I've done on Music Hall, which I'm hoping is the end is in sight. Possibly, yeah, possibly that means it's a couple of years away. But it may be that the light at the end of the tunnel is beginning to be a pinpoint or something. Anyway, but I also wanted to let people know I spoke at the British Music Hall Society conference last year, which was an interesting event, and I think the new British Music Hall Society conference is going to happen in October. I haven't got a formal invite yet. I will circulate it when I get it, but it's on songs of conflict in the music hall. So anything relating to the Boer War or class conflict or domestic conflict, all sorts of things that I think people would be interested in. Anybody that's got an interest in 19th century song might well have things to say about songs of conflict. So I think it would be an interesting conference to take part in, and a different set of experts to engage with. They're very friendly, and they tend to sing and tell jokes and juggle and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things.
Yeah, we could do some more juggling, couldn't we? Yeah, I think, yeah, you keep reminding me every time you speak, you mention the British Music Hall Society, and I forget to check them out. Can you send us a link or something, John? To because they are a sort of kindred spirits, especially for us with interest with the later songs and stuff. Tina's got a hand up. Tina?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
I'm one of the newer members. I intend to come to Stowmarket, so hope to see you there. Say hello. I just wondered, after the formality of the day, although I don't expect it being that formal, will there be some singing taking part anywhere?
Usually, there often is at our meetings, either the night before or the evening itself. But that's not my department. Martin usually organises, or we rely on our hosts. So in this case, it's the East Anglian Traditional Music Trust. And I did ask them if they were planning to have a sing around, but I don't think I had an answer. Do you know anything about this, Martin? Is there anything planned?
No, I don't know, Steve. Perhaps we could check again, find out what might be going on.
Right, okay. Would the Friday night be all right, Tina, or is it just the Saturday?
Yes, Friday. Yeah, no, I'm coming over on the Friday. So if that's a date, Steve, I'll.
Well, I'll have to check with Alex from, our local
sure,
person.
sure. Yeah.
And it's probably it's normally just getting a venue and see who turns up kind of thing. It certainly wouldn't be a formal event, but it would be. We often do have this kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else? No. So we if I had a gavel, I would bash it and say this meeting is now brought to a close, and we've got 5 minutes before we actually start the meeting. Everybody happy? Anybody want to say anything else? No, but thank you all for coming to this bit. We'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll go to the loo.